Accusing his opponents of attempting a coup to overturn his victory in the 2016 election. And we're back now with the panel. Well, Carl, I understand the president's outrage. The Russia investigation put a cloud over his presidency for the first 2 years, and apparently there was no collusion. But as a political matter, does it make sense for him to keep hitting the Mueller report as much as he did this past week, or should he move on to other issues?
Well, count me in the move on category. First of all, he's never going to be able to fully move on because the Democrats will not move on. There are going to be investigations conducted by judiciary, by intelligence, by oversight, by financial services. We can watch all of those Democrat chairmen obscure any chance of the Democrats having a positive message coming out of the House for 2020, and he's going to get drawn into that. But let's go back to the economy. The president's doing well on the economy. And not only is he doing well on the economy, but in the new Washington Post ABC poll, 6 out of every 10 independents say, I'm done with the whole impeachment thing. So he's got a chance to use the economy to grab those people who looked, those independents who looked at the Mueller report and concluded the president, no collusion and no effort, no obstruction, and let's go pay attention to things that matter to my family and my community.
Donna, I don't usually ask you to give political advice to Donald Trump, but the fact is, this is an issue that does animate his base, who feel very strongly that this was an attempted coup by the deep state.
Well, since I've spent a lot of time dealing with this issue, not just politically, but emotionally, because I became chair for the second time as a result of the hacking of our democracy. And so my advice to the president is acknowledge what happened. And then begin to...
Well, he said, what do you mean acknowledge what happened? He says it didn't happen.
Acknowledge the Russians, you know, came after our country, and then spend the next 18 months helping to defend our country against future attacks and make sure that this never happens again. The problem with the president is that he can't turn the page because he's caught right in the middle of one of the biggest historical blunders, I think, of all times. And that is a hostile foreign country came after us. And the president's sitting here thinking about himself and not the country.
But wait, what about the argument that it was Obama who failed to defend the country in 2016? He was president, not Donald Trump.
President Obama, of course, went to Mr. Putin during that summit in China and said, stop it. He also imposed sanctions. He imposed sanctions.
Yeah.
He began to, he got the Homeland Security Department.
But it happened on his watch, is my point.
Of course it happened on his watch, because the Russians were hell-bent on attacking our country.
Okay, I want to move on because of the president.